Okay, great team. We are quickly going to do a tax calculation for an employee who earns a salary. So it says here that Benny earns a salary of 34,500 per month. You need to remember that the tax brackets work on an annual salary, okay, not a monthly salary. So your first step is to take his monthly earnings and times that by 12 to see how much he earns then on a annual basis. Let's see, there we go. So he earns 414,000 Rand per annum. Right. Then you must now link this annual earnings of his to the relevant tax bracket. So he earns more than the first bracket, so he can't be in that bracket. He also earns more than the maximum of the second bracket. So he falls somewhere within the second bracket over here. And if you earn within that second bracket, it says that first of all, you must pay. You have no choice. You must pay 77,362 Rand. Okay, so that's your starting point. You must pay 77,362 Rand. But on top of that, plus, right? So on top of that, you must also pay 31% of your income that is above the amount of 370,000 Rand, 500. So in other words, if you are earning 414,000 Rand, you must find the difference between that and the 370,000 Rand of that bracket, because anything above that, you are paying an additional 31% on. So times 31%. See, the handwriting is already looking a bit better on this thing. Okay, so therefore, what is that difference? It's 414 minus 370,500. So on 43,500 Rand, 43,500, you must pay an additional 31%. So times that by 31 to get 13,485 Rand. So you're going to pay the 77,362 plus the, what was it, 13,458. So 13,485 Rand. Okay, that's the total amount that you have to pay. Plus 77,362, so 98,447. So it's 90,847 Rand. Okay, there we have it. That is the amount that you have to pay. Oh, you did a little something. 90,847 Rand. That is per annum, because remember, you used your annual salary to calculate this. The question asks for you to only calculate the amount payable for May. So in other words, only for 1 month, therefore divided by 12. So it is 90,847 divided by 12. And you are therefore going to pay 1,000, my gosh, 7,183. So 7,183 Rand. And how many cents? SARS is not going to forget about their cents, and 83 and 92 cents. Okay, there we go. That's it. So step number 1, ensure that you have the annual earnings by taking your monthly earnings and multiplying that by 12 to get to your annual earnings. Then take your annual earnings, go look for your annual earnings within the tax bracket, and then identify your tax bracket. Then there's an amount payable when you fall in within a certain tax bracket. There's a flat rate, so a fixed amount payable in that tax bracket. But on top of that, if you earn more than the minimum amount within that tax bracket, you also have to pay taxes on that amount. So in other words, find the difference between your total annual earnings and the minimum amount within that tax bracket. Times that by the percentage of tax within your tax bracket that you have allocated, right? Add the two amounts to get your total tax payable for the year. Divide it by 12 to see how much you have to pay only for this 1 month. And that's calculating your taxes using tax tables. Then I'm also going to do a salary notch real quick. Okay, so this person started working, Benny started working at Bright Spark Traders as their accountant on the 1st of May, 2025. His salary notch is as follows. He's going to earn 414,000 Rand for the year, the first year. Okay, so in 2025, his salary for the year is 414. Oh my gosh, here we go again with the lag. 414,000. It's not going to do anything. We shall see. Sometimes it just, I don't know what it does. We shall see. There we go. Okay, so 414,000 Rand. This will increase annually. So this is what the multiplied by means. So this will increase by 8,000 Rand every single year until he reaches a salary of 438,000. So in other words, in 2026, he will earn 8,000 Rand more than in 2025. So he will therefore earn 422,000. Right? Are we good with that one? So we're taking the annual salary of the previous year, and we are saying that he now earns 8,000 Rand more in 2026. Therefore, he earns 422,000. We have not yet reached this new notch. Therefore, he's going to earn in the next year again 8,000 Rand more than the previous year. So he's going to earn 430,000. He has still not reached that next salary notch. So in 2028, it's again only increasing by 8,000 Rand. Come on, there we go. So there we go. Now, at the end of 2028, the maximum amount that he can earn is 438,000, which is the next salary notch. Now, after this, his salary will increase by 10,000 Rand every year until he reaches a salary of 458. So 448 at the end of 2029. And then if I add to that 2030, remember, he hasn't reached the next salary notch yet. So 2030, he will again earn an increase or get an increase of 10,000 Rand for him to earn 458,000 Rand per annum. Then after 2030, his salary will increase by 12,500 Rand per month after 2030. Right, so that means his monthly earnings is just his annual earnings divided by 12, so 35,000. Oh, what am I saying? 35 is 34,500. Yes, 34,500. Then in year 2, divided by 12, so it's just like a decimal over here. It's fine, we will work with the decimals. We know we're working with money. So 67. Then 430,000 divided by 12. So 35,833. Remember, you can't ignore the decimals when you're working with your salaries and wages unless the paper tells you to. So you just divide by 12 for each one of them. 36,500. And then 44 divided by 12. Another like a decimal over there. And then the last one, 458 divided by 12 to get to the last salary that we have there. That is
Apologies for this interruption. Mrs. Malonzi, if you would please contact the front office